down the pecking order when you go to the website.
Hilarious story. Apparently, palace officials have been trying their hardest to strip Harry of his titles, but
it finally happened, and oh my goodness, no one saw this coming. After months of tense whispers, cryptic statements, and that never-ending royal speculation, Prince Harry has officially boarded a private jet straight to London. And no, this time it's not for some charity gala, another courtroom battle, or one of those Netflix publicity moves. No, this time it's personal, deeply, emotionally personal. You could almost feel the shock waves ripple through social media the moment the jet took off. Fans in Montecito, royal reporters in London, everyone froze. Why? Because this isn't a casual visit. This is Harry returning home for a royal showdown.
It's my favourite source for royal news, and quite right, not that we're biased. Harry said in his BBC interview that he was forced to step away from royal duty due to security concerns. I thought Harry and Meghan had decided.
According to multiple palace insiders, Harry's sudden dash across the Atlantic wasn't random at all. It was triggered by a top-secret royal meeting that could change his and Meghan's lives forever. Yes, the very titles Duke and Duchess of Sussex, the ones that once symbolized love, rebellion, and independence, might soon be gone for good. And guess what? The palace isn't sugarcoating it anymore. But hold on, before we dive into this royal earthquake, let's rewind for a second. Because this wasn't a planned trip, this was an emergency return, one sparked by a phone call Harry reportedly never expected. Early morning in California, the sun barely rising over Montecito. Harry was sitting on his terrace, sipping coffee, probably feeling like life had finally calmed down. Then his phone lit up. A UK number he hadn't seen in months. The name flashing on the screen? Prince William. And that call? Oh, that call changed everything.
Yeah, I agree.
So we are in total agreement. They are very dependent.
From what insiders claim, that conversation went south fast. Meghan was right there when it happened, and according to leaks, her reaction was explosive. She reportedly told Harry, "Don't go, it's a trap, they'll humiliate you again." But Harry, stubborn, emotional, deeply torn, was already halfway to his car. Something in William's voice apparently shook him. Sources say William's exact words were, "It's happening whether you like it or not. If you have something to say it in person." That single line hit like thunder. For the first time since Megxit, this wasn't about peace or reconciliation, this was about finality. And just like that, Harry decided to fly back to Britain, ready to confront his family head-on.
Does not distinguish between private or commercial use of the HRH. It reads, "With the Queen's blessing."
And here's where the plot thickens. The reason behind this royal showdown? Titles. Specifically, whether King Charles should finally move forward with the plan that's been quietly brewing for months, the formal revocation of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex titles. Yes, you heard that right. Behind closed palace doors, King Charles and Prince William have reportedly reached an agreement. The Sussex titles, the couple's royal identity, could soon be permanently removed following the global backlash over their Hollywood lifestyle. And honestly, the past year hasn't exactly been kind to the Sussex brand.
Meghan of their royal titles. The New York Post is reporting that locals in the UK say enough is enough, especially after Prince Harry's disastrous BBC interview, which aired.
Remember Meghan's ill-fated jam and wine launches? Total flops. Then came Harry's tell-all memoir, Spare, which reignited his feud with William and sent royal relations spiraling. Instead of royal engagements, the couple has spent more time rubbing shoulders in Hollywood boardrooms. Even their media allies are quietly backing away. Netflix shelved Meghan's second project. Spotify dumped them with a brutal statement, and insiders say that was the last straw. Now here's the real kicker. This title showdown isn't just symbolic, it's everything. Their foundation, their production company, their PR identity all revolve around the Sussex brand. Take away that name, and suddenly, they're just Harry and Meghan. And that's exactly what terrifies them.
Whether Prince Harry and the Duchess of Montecito should lose their official royal title.
If this really is Charles's next move, then it's one of the most ruthless chess plays the monarchy's pulled in decades. But Harry's return to London isn't just about titles. It's about optics, family optics. Behind those palace gates, the mood has turned glacial. King Charles, still recovering from health scares, is reportedly fed up with what one aide described as the Montecito melodrama. In recent weeks, Charles and William have held multiple closed-door meetings at Clarence House meetings that insiders say focused entirely on one thing, the Sussex situation. The phrase repeated in those halls? Enough is enough. Then came the public push a parliamentary petition that gained over 100,000 signatures demanding the Sussexes be stripped of their royal status altogether. That petition forced the king's hand. He couldn't ignore it anymore.
Is planning to strip Harry and Meghan of their royal titles when he ascends to the...
So, a private, highly discreet meeting was arranged between King Charles, Prince William, senior royal advisors, and notably without Meghan. And that, insiders say, is what lit the fuse. When Meghan found out she wasn't invited, she was livid, humiliated even. She allegedly accused the royal family of trying to erase her existence. Harry, meanwhile, was torn caught between loyalty to his wife and his family name. That's when William made the call. And now, as Harry's private jet slices through the night sky, British media is going insane. His flight was tracked, leaving Santa Barbara just after midnight. Within hours, royal watchers were already speculating, would he go to Windsor, Clarence House, or dare confront William directly at Kensington Palace? Sources now say he's heading to Clarence House, where King Charles will hold a special council meeting. Agenda item number 1, the Sussex titles. Back in Montecito, Meghan's reportedly in full PR lockdown. Friends say she's terrified because losing those titles isn't just a headline. It's the slow death of everything they've built. Harry, on the other hand, is conflicted. For all the anger and exile, he's still attached to his royal roots. Even after everything, the interviews, the memoir, the distance, he still craves belonging. And maybe, just maybe, this trip is about redemption too. As one insider told The Telegraph, Harry wants to be heard before the decision is finalized. He knows he can't undo the past, but he doesn't want to lose the last piece of who he is. But this won't be a calm conversation. William, the driving force behind this title review, is reportedly done playing the nice brother. He's serious, focused, determined to protect the monarchy. Privately, William has said, "We've survived wars, abdications, and scandals. We'll survive this too." And as the brothers prepare to face each other after months of silence, the tension could melt glass. A royal aide even described the mood as electric, like the calm before a thunderstorm. But there's one more twist. The palace might offer Harry a deal. Not reconciliation, a deal. A graceful transition where Harry voluntarily steps back from his titles in exchange for limited privileges. Maybe security funding, maybe certain appearances, a face-saving exit. But of course, there's one big problem: Meghan. Sources claim she's totally against it. It's not just a title, one friend said. It's validation, and Meghan won't let go of that without a fight. Now, as Harry's plane begins descending over the London skyline, the question gripping the world is simple. Will he return home as the Duke of Sussex or just Mr. Harry Windsor? Whatever happens, this confrontation is about to reshape the royal family forever. Picture this: a cold, gray London morning, the kind where the sky looks like dull silver and the air tastes like rain. Outside Clarence House, the press cameras are flashing, reporters whispering, everyone holding their breath. Harry has landed. No smiles, no waves, just a flat cap pulled low and a face as pale as the sky. He's driven straight to Clarence House. Inside, waiting for him, King Charles, calm but resolute. Camilla nearby, but silent. And across the table, Prince William, cold, businesslike, ready to talk titles. This wasn't a reunion, it was an intervention. Harry walks in thinking there's still time to negotiate. He's wrong. Charles had already instructed his legal team to draft what they call a title adjustment, the royal code for downgrade. And the worst part? Harry had no idea until he stepped into that room. The moment King Charles slid that thin folder across the table, witnesses say Harry's entire face changed. First confusion, then disbelief, and finally, pure, unfiltered rage. He reportedly muttered, "This can't be real. You're not actually doing this." But it was real. Charles, calm and deliberate, told him the monarchy could no longer carry the Sussex brand while it was being used for personal deals, branding ventures, and Netflix projects. It had become, in his exact words, untenable. William sat there in silence, arms folded, gaze steady, watching his brother break. He didn't need to say anything. The silence was louder than words. Harry looked at him desperately, hoping for some sign of support. But there was nothing. This was William's quiet power moment, the unspoken passing of the torch from one brother to the other. Harry's emotions snapped. He started pacing, his voice shaking, throwing words like betrayal, family, and loyalty into the air. Then, in a sudden outburst, he slammed his hand against the table so hard that aides outside reportedly flinched. Charles didn't flinch. He simply said in that royal icy calmness, "This is not punishment, Harry, it's preservation." And that one word broke him. Because in royal language, preservation means one thing: the crown comes before you. By the time Harry stormed out, the tension was unbearable. He looked shattered, muttering curses as cameras flashed through the London rain. That look on his face told the whole story. His world had just fallen apart, and yet that was only the beginning. Within 24 hours, leaks began to spread like wildfire. A mysterious line appeared in the Times. Structural adjustments within the Sussex circle may soon be announced. Then another commentator dropped a bombshell hint. A certain prince's title is under review. The palace hadn't leaked it by accident. It was a warning shot. Harry wasn't coping. Friends said he called Meghan from London in tears. "I feel like they've erased me." She told him to stay strong, to control the narrative, but her own control was slipping. Harry wanted to step back, to process. Meghan wanted to fight. And for the first time, their goals weren't aligned. As their home life fractured, the outside world caught fire. British tabloids screamed Harry to be stripped and final cutoff imminent. Even respectable outlets couldn't resist the drama. Across the Atlantic, the tide was turning. American media, once Meghan's biggest allies, started to ask tough questions. Did Meghan push too far? One headline read, "Has the Hollywood fairy tale finally lost its shine?" asked another. The sympathy was fading, and Meghan could feel it slipping through her fingers like sand. So she tried to take back the spotlight. Days after the leak, she personally reached out to a top streaming executive, pitching a bold new project, a solo documentary on royal resilience. One actress who once gushed about Meghan's activism was caught joking at an event. She can't keep a PR manager longer than a Netflix season. It stung. Meanwhile, Harry was spiraling. He stopped taking calls, avoided the media, and told one friend, "I just want to come home, but I can't." That line hit the tabloids like a bombshell. Prince longs for home. 3 words that shattered the illusion. Meghan, sensing her grip slipping, tried one last masterstroke. Her PR team crafted a highly produced video of Meghan in her sunny Montecito garden, speaking softly about grace and resilience. Her tearful line, "They can take the title, but not my voice," was meant to inspire. Instead, it became a meme. Late-night hosts mocked it. One joked, "Even her tears have a publicist." And for the first time, Meghan wasn't controlling the story. She was the story. Meanwhile, the palace stayed silent officially. But behind the curtain, the decision had already been made. Lawyers were drafting the paperwork. The Duke and Duchess titles were hanging by a thread. Back in Montecito, the tension was suffocating. Staff described the mood as walking on glass. Meghan was in crisis meetings while Harry sat quietly staring at old photos of his mother. This wasn't just a PR problem anymore, it was an identity collapse. If the titles went, so did their relevance, their brand, their aura. Then came the twist, a leak so explosive it shifted everything again. So began what insiders call the Meghan counterstrike, flooding media with positive stories about motherhood, charity, and mindfulness. But it didn't work. Editors had moved on. The Sussex story no longer sold. It drained clicks. Desperate, Meghan made a reckless decision to do a live tell-all interview, unedited, raw, and risky. Promos teased it dramatically. The Duchess speaks the truth no one has heard. Social media exploded. Supporters prayed for a comeback. Critics sharpened their claws. Even the palace was caught off guard. By week's end, Meghan Markle's name had become synonymous with controversy. But behind those closed mansion doors, one thing was certain: she wasn't finished. Because when the monarchy drew its line, Meghan Markle was already planning to cross it one last time.